Hi everyone. I wanted to play for you a couple of news clips that I think are very, very telling and out there in your face news clips from presidents and leaders of our country all declaring pridefully a new world order. And I want to start off with one of Obama's videos here where he is discussing with people that this international order has taken generations to build, and how we all need to submit ourselves to an all-powerful sovereign. And I'm going to try and also find the videos from George Bush Sr. and George Bush Jr., as well as Joe Biden, and play them for you. They're all discussing a new world order and pridefully telling the American people and the world, as a matter of fact, that they will be successful. We do know that this is prophesied in the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation. Paul talked about this, as well as did our Lord Jesus Christ. And he mentioned that I come in my Father's name, that there is another who is coming in his own name, and him you will receive. And we know that he wasn't just speaking to Israel, he was also speaking to the world, the unbelievers, that they would fall for this deception, that there would be another Christ. Again, as I've stated many times before, I believe that vicar means another Christ, or in place of Christ. And when Jesus said, many will come in my name, saying, I am Christ, this reminds me of the papacy. The popes take on the title, the Holy Father. That is coming in the name of the Father. That is proclaiming to be another Christ on earth. And, anti can mean in place of or substitute for. Anyway, I wanted to play this clip from Obama and then see if I can look up some clips for you from George Bush Sr. and Jr. and even Joe Biden, all talking pridefully about bringing in a new world order. What Obama is about to say here, to me, is chilling, because he's saying that we all need to submit ourselves to an all-powerful sovereign. And this, to me, is literally the fulfillment of the little horn of Daniel and what John saw when he said that he saw a beast rising up that had two horns like a lamb, but spoke the words of the dragon. This is this prince that shall come, the Antichrist, the man in place of Christ. This is the all-powerful sovereign that is prophesied that the world will submit to. And most of the time you speak to people about this, they're going to think you're talking about a James Bond movie that you've seen. When you talk about a one world leader and a one world government, they say, oh, okay, sounds like a good James Bond movie. But really, you're speaking reality. But that's how people take you sometimes, unless you put solid proof in their face that this is really going on. And now it's not just behind the scenes. It's becoming more evident. But let me play this clip for you really quickly, and then I'm going to look up a couple more for you.
And for the international order that we have worked for generations to build. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. That order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
Amazing, isn't it? That we have to submit our rights to an all-powerful sovereign. And this is an order that they have been working on, he said, for generations. Interesting. And I think we know, those of us who are Bible prophecy students, I think we understand exactly who this all-powerful sovereign is that he is talking about. Let me see if I can find George Bush Sr. All right. So I can find this for you and play it. New World Order. Okay, let me see here. All right, this is George Bush Sr. Let me see if this comes through okay.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be,
Pride.
We have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay. And then George Bush Jr. even goes on to say that they will be successful. Let me see if I can get that up. But do you see how they pridefully declare a new world order? I mean, and this has gone back through the presidencies of, like I said, George Bush Sr., Jr., and Obama talks about it now. Let me see. George Bush Jr., New World Order. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see here if this is it. Oh yeah, Order of the Ages. And George Bush Jr. also talks about an ancient promise that was given to people, that it was an ancient promise that will be fulfilled. And of course we know that ancient promise most likely comes from that old ancient serpent, the devil. Let me see if this is the video here. Let's see. Or something similar.
And he wills. We have confidence because freedom is the permanent hope of mankind. The hunger in dark places. The longing of the soul. When our founders declared a new order of the ages, when soldiers died in wave upon wave for a union based on liberty, when citizens marched in peaceful outrage under the banner Freedom Now, they were acting on an ancient hope that is meant to be fulfilled.
An ancient hope.
History has an ebb and flow of justice, but history also has a visible direction set by liberty and the author of liberty.
Now, a new order of the ages, it was given by an ancient hope. Well, you know what? That reminds me of that ancient serpent, the devil, that has been wanting to bring about his own global government for ever since the Tower of Babel. He's wanted to be worshipped as God. But I wanted to bring, let me see if I can find Joe Biden's message saying that this young generation would be the generation to usher in a new world order. Let me see here. Can't type today on my phone. All right, let me see. Joe Biden, New World Order. Okay. All right, here we go.
The end of these two wars affords us an opportunity. It allows us to refocus our intelligence and military assets and resources to other parts of the world where they are needed, where we face new challenges. This is the world you are graduating into. This is what I want to talk about today with you for a few minutes. I believe we, and particularly you, your class, has an incredible window of opportunity to lead in shaping a new world order for the 21st century in a way consistent with American interest and the common interest.
Okay, I'll stop there. This is just a few examples. I could spend probably the rest of my day just bringing up articles and videos for you of people, presidents, leaders in our country for decades now talking about bringing about a new order of the ages, that it's an ancient promise, an ancient hope given to us that we will be successful. They will be successful for about 42 months because it was written in the scriptures that power was given unto the beast, as well as the man of sin, to make war with the saints and have a global authority for 42 months. God says he puts it into the hearts of the kings of the earth to hand over their power to the beast so that his words will be fulfilled. So when these people pridefully say, and we will be successful, it's only because God is allowing it for 42 months to accomplish his plan. But this has been Satan's agenda since the beginning of time, that I will be as the Most High, he said. He's wanted the world's worship and love and adoration ever since the Garden of Eden. This is what this New World Order is all about. Jesus spoke to the builders, which are also Freemasons, and the builders are the ones working hand in hand with this global beast system to bring about this New World Order, or this new order of the ages. And this used to be kept under wraps, behind the scenes, and now it's out in your face. So we have these signs right in our face, along with these things as well. You've got the biohacking / RFID that I went over with you in a previous video, that people are becoming more and more liking the idea of implanting themselves with an RFID microchip. You have the Vatican / papacy officially recognizing a Palestinian state. They made a treaty with them. What was it, a couple months ago, recognizing them legally or formally now as a state. And I truly feel that as the Pope goes, so goes the world. I mean, there's a lot of nations that were not on board with this at first that may see the Pope doing it now and want to rally behind him. And I hear France may be in agreement with this when the Pope comes to the UN next month. actually. So you've got the Vatican recognizing a Palestinian state, talk of dividing Jerusalem and making a Palestinian state, the Pope talking to Congress, which is unprecedented. The RFID technology is already in place for implanting everyone in their hands. And it's not, it may not just be the right hand, it could be both hands, and the forehead for buying and selling. You have the internationalization of Jerusalem with checkpoints going up, which are clearly preparations for dividing the state of Israel, dividing Jerusalem between a Palestinian state and Israel. The book of Hosea, and I won't get into it right now, but the book of Hosea details prophecy for us about mass animal deaths. And this is happening with, not only just with sea creatures and sea life washing up dead in the millions, but there's also cattle and birds too that are just being found dead all over the place. And I mean, it's not being reported in the news all the time. They probably don't have an explanation anymore. When this began to happen a few years ago, Fox News would report it, and now they've just stopped reporting it because they probably don't know what to tell people anymore. So now they're diverting attention from it by not reporting it or focusing on it, but it's going on. Signs in the heavens are happening like Jesus told us. He set the sun, moon, and stars, not only for seasons, but for signs. Could these blood moons have something to do with prophecy coming to pass? It's possible. All I know is I'm paying attention because the Lord said that I'm to watch even the signs in the heavens. The fearful sights in the heavens, like I said in a video previously about the fallen angels appearing as this alien agenda, that these could be some fearful signs in the heavens as well. Against the spiritual forces of wickedness in heavenly realms. Nation rising against nation. We know that's been going on as well. There would be scoffers in the last days saying everything goes on as it always has and would scoff the return of the Lord. Maybe even scoff at prophecy teachers and say, you prophecy teachers have been saying this for decades. Well, we know that things are not going on as they always have. If you understand the book of Daniel and you understand the book of Revelation and everything that the Lord said to look for in the Gospels, you will know that these things that are taking place with RFID technology, with Jerusalem being divided, a Palestinian state, the talk of a third temple going up, which is prophesied, and everything else falling into place, you will be able to look at secular news and see that when the world is sleeping and it's going like this with the world, you're able to look at it and say, I recognize that. The scriptures tell me this is what was supposed to happen before the Lord came back, and you'll be awake and paying attention. Also, I hear that the Palestinian people have asked the United Nations if they could fly their flag at the United Nations when the Pope arrives. So, and I've even heard rumors that the Vatican flag may fly as well. So we're just going to have to wait and see if that happens. I don't know. But the fact that they want their flag to fly on the UN when the Pope comes to visit shows they are really pushing hard, as always, as they have been, for their own state. And I truly believe this will happen very soon. We're at the door of all these things happening. The fact that you've got presidents now that aren't hiding anymore about a new world order and a global government, and you've got Obama coming out and saying that we have to submit to an all-powerful sovereign. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake our family up and our friends up and start planting seeds in whatever way the Lord leads you to do that, to show people how late the hour is. Do I put times and dates on things? No. But the Lord did tell us, watch therefore, for you do not know when the time will come. What time is Jesus talking about? I believe he's talking about that time of great tribulation, those last 42 months before Jesus' feet touched the Mount of Olives and he walks through that eastern gate. We don't know when that time will come. So he tells us to pay attention. Watch the signs. He said, blessed are those servants, and when the master comes, he finds them watching. He finds them awake. So I wanted to play those clips for you. You can look up more yourself, Google it. There are plenty of government leaders and even world leaders now talking about this, and they are not hiding it anymore. Remember, none of this is out of God's control. It says in the scriptures that God puts it into the hearts of the kings of the earth to hand over their power to the beast. And as you can see by the way Bush Sr. and Jr. and Obama and Biden are talking, their hearts are being moved to do this. It doesn't sound like from their video that they are resenting a new order of the ages or that they don't want to go along with this plan. They want to go along with this plan. And God tells us why. He's putting it into the hearts of the kings of the earth to fulfill his plan. It's amazing that you are alive at this time in history and this generation to see these things happening. And no, things are not just going on the way they have since the fathers fell asleep. Things are happening at breakneck speed prophetically, and I'm encouraging you to stay awake.